Today, we are talking about imposter syndrome, and there are people out there who would love for more people to feel like imposters, to feel like they don't deserve what they've earned in life. People who crave power want others to believe they are powerless to create their own success, and it seems like our leaders in Washington, D.C. want us all to just go to them when we want or need anything, and that's exactly what my next guest is exposing on a daily basis. Deneen Borelli is the Outreach Director for Freedom Works and the author of Backlash, and she is here with us right now. My good friend Deneen Borelli, welcome to Smart Life.
Dr. Gina, thank you so much. And it's always a treat to see you at Fox News Studios in New York City.
It's always a treat to see you there. I always hope I'll see your name on the list when I'm there. Thank you so much. You do some great work there.
And so do you. You do a great job. And thank you for all you do and all of your hard work.
No, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, we're kindred spirits, to be sure.
Yes.
Deneen, today we're talking about this imposter syndrome, which is more sort of a psychological topic. But I've noticed as I've looked out at the political horizon that the elected officials in Washington want us to think we are imposters, that we didn't build that. How do you combat that message, Deneen?
Well, you combat that message with the actual facts, Dr. Gina. And, we from our president on down, we have the left that believes more in the power of big government than in the power of the individual. And our country is an exceptional country. That is the message that I tell people around the country when I go and speak at different events. And that it's the individual, it's the power of the individual, and it's not the government, because the big government will fail you every time, and we can witness that just by looking at today's headlines.
Some say we're past the point of no return. I know patriots firsthand who've just given up and gone back into the shadows. Some say there are too many people who've given up on reaching for the American dream. If you just look at the tax ratios, those would scare you to death. And so now people say, Americans, we're just looking for the American handout, not the American dream. Are we past the point of no return, Deneen? Is there no turning back?
No, I'm very hopeful about our country. What people have to keep in mind is that it has taken us many years to get to where we are today, and sadly there are a lot of individuals who are depending on the government, but government resources are limited. And when the individual is able to flourish and grow and be successful, that is something that is unlimited. The potential is so much greater than relying on the government.
You say that the president is sending us to the plantation. You've written a lot about this. You've spoken about this. I've seen you talk about it on Fox. In your book, Backlash, you write specifically about the Black American population being thrown back to the plantation in ways that they don't even realize. Explain what you mean.
Well, sure. I had the great privilege of writing my book, Blacklash, How Obama and the Left Are Driving Americans to the Government Plantation. And with the regulations and with the high taxes, high job unemployment, more and more Americans are depending on government. And this is across the board. It's not just in the Black community, but my message to the Black community is that the government is not your friend. The government is not the end-all and be-all. It's you, the individual, who should be supporting yourself, your family for your everyday wants and needs, and not looking towards government. And that is my message really to all Americans. It's the individual, power of the individual, and not big government.
The race card. We hear it all the time. I see much of your writing is focused on how the political left frequently plays the race card. Seems to be effective. People on the right retreat anytime race is brought into the picture. How do we combat that, Deneen?
Well, really what we need to do, and this is no matter who you are, what your background is, you need to call out these individuals when they play the race card. I find it to be very dangerous and very divisive. And this is a tactic that the left uses because when you look at the numbers, high unemployment, over 47 million Americans on food stamps, high energy prices. What they will do is turn that argument around to play the race card when anyone criticizes President Obama and his big government policies. Even with Obamacare, we know his policies are not working, and what people need to do is stand up to individuals when they try to invoke the race card and argue with the facts.
as we look down the road at the political climate, it's you have those on the left saying, "Wow, you know, look at you over there." I heard just some report this morning. I think it was Wasserman Schultz, and she was saying, "Republicans, you better do something because the Tea Party is really messing things up for you." And you have the GOP elite really pretty much agreeing with Debbie Wasserman Schultz. What's the truth there, Deneen?
Well, the truth is, unfortunately, we have some establishment Republicans who are no different than the left, no different than the Democrats. They stand for big government and a lot of spending. But thank goodness for the Tea Party, individuals who want responsive, representative leadership, less spending, lower taxes. This is what the Tea Party is all about. And I see individuals either in the Tea Party movement or even outside of the movement who want smaller government. And what the left does not want, and the establishment Republicans, they don't want to be challenged. So this is what we're up against. And I implore all Americans and your listeners to take a stand, fight against big government, play your role, and do what you can, because this is for the future of our country and our future generation.
You hear all the time in the news that you know, the candidates, as they line up, the Republicans better pick a moderate if they want to pull from the middle. You see people starting to jockey to run for this next presidential election. But if the things you say are true, that we need to downsize government, it's going to take a real reformer who's going to have to be willing to take a lot of backlash. And so I want to ask you, who do you see out there that seems to be able to handle that backlash that they're going to have to endure if they're going to make the serious cuts in the size of government and the power of government that are going to be necessary to change things back to the way they should be?
Well, I'm not one who endorses candidates, but I do believe in the power of smaller government. Anyone who holds that line and not bend to the whims of the political forces to just try to stay in office and try to stay elected, listen to your constituents, individuals who believe in smaller government, less spending, not big government bureaucracies that are robbing us every day of our liberties. That's the kind of leadership that we need in America today. All
right, Deneen, tell everybody where they can get your book, Blacklash.
Oh, sure. Blacklash at my website, DeneenBorelli.com. And listen, I really appreciate the time today with you, and have me back anytime, Dr. Gina.
I would love that. DeneenBorelli.com, a true women among women. She's an amazing person. Check her out and check out her book, Blacklash.